What the fuck did we just read, bruh? Holy shit. I genuinely believe that chapter 11 and 63 is without a doubt one of the best chapters in all of 2025, if not the best chapter. So let's get into the chapter review. Okay, I can't talk right now. So let's get into the review, and before we get to the review, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you like daily One Piece content, because I'm sure you'll fall in love with this channel. And come on, let's get into the chapter review with this fucking loaded chapter. The first thing we're gonna talk about in this chapter, let's address the elephant in the room. Rocksteady Xebec got Domi reversed. Now when we get back to the brief spoilers, they made it like Rocksteady Xebec simply got Domi reversed by Imu-sama. And then we read the full summary yesterday, and we fully understood how Rox turned into the Domi reverse. Or Domi reversy, whatever you want to call it. It's because Imu manipulated him into, because Imu-sama saw, like in a far, far away, in a galaxy far, far away, she saw, or he saw, Imu-sama saw Iris and Teach. And at that time, Rocksteady Xebec got worried. He's worried about his wife, he's worried about his kid, and that is why he was kind of afraid. And I think the key point of Imu-sama turning someone into the Domi reversy is by manipulating and making this person afraid. It's like, I think, it's like, for example, Boa Hancock's Devil Fruit. It's because of her beauty, right? But I think when, for example, Teach takes this Devil Fruit, it becomes fear. So, for example, Teach has the Boa Hancock Devil Fruit. Now he can turn people into stones by making them fear. Like when someone fears Blackbeard, he's gonna turn, or he's gonna get stoned, right? He's gonna turn into a stone, right? It's like your most benefiting trait that you have is gonna be your Devil Fruit. I think that's at least my theory, and that's with the Domi reversy. When you get back to that, I think that's how Rocksteady Xebec got Domi reversied, right? It's because he was worried and he was concerned. So technically, he's afraid for the life of his wife and his kid, and that's how Imu-sama, because Imu-sama knew that there's no point, like, if she or Imu-sama fought Rox, it's gonna be a fair fight or whatever. But Imu-sama doesn't want to do that. So Imu-sama knew that if she made Rocksteady Xebec actually worries about his wife and his kid, now she can get the vulnerable side of Rocksteady Xebec, and then she can turn him, or she can Domi reversy him, right? I think that's how he got Domi reversied, and that's the whole Rocksteady Xebec saga into turning. Am I satisfied for Rocksteady Xebec ending? Like, because this is basically the end of Rocksteady Xebec as the guy that we know. Am I satisfied? Somewhat, yes. Could have this scenario have been better? Yes. But now when you think about it, what other scenario could have Oda done to make Rocksteady Xebec die? Like, I think this is the best scenario that you could have done in a character like Rox, because he's technically, like, other than Imu-sama, he's the strongest. And Sengoku told us way before that it was Roger Guard versus Rocksteady Xebec. So to make this make sense, you gotta turn the whole event upside down, right? So you have to include Imu-sama in here. We simply saw that Garlink was not enough, bro. He's a bum compared to Rocksteady Xebec. And even Saturn is not on the level of Rocksteady Xebec. So Imu-sama, because there's a rivalry between Rocksteady Xebec and Imu-sama, it just makes sense for Imu-sama to go to God Valley. And we even saw that at the beginning of the chapter when Imu-sama said, or like called Rocksteady Xebec Davy Jones. Whether it's Imu-sama thinks that he's actually Davy Jones, but it's the like Imu-sama knew that he is that's the inherited will of Davy Jones. Like, he's the ancestor and the descendant of Davy Jones, right? It's like the same scenario is gonna happen with Luffy. Like, I think Imu-sama will call Luffy Joy Boy, right? So it's the same with Rocksteady Xebec and Davy Jones. So Imu-sama sees Rocksteady Xebec as a threat, and she even said that at the beginning of the chapter when she was fighting Rox. It was a fair fight. Rox was ducking Imu-sama's attack, and he was trying to attack back and all that. It was a fair fight, and she said that my world would be completed if you're not in it. So Imusama gotta, like, had to be in God Valley. So this is, in my opinion, I'm not gonna say the perfect scenario on how to make Roxy Xebec like finally die, but it's a good way on how to make a character as strong as Roxy Xebec finally die without making it logically be stupid, right? So Imusama's inclusion in here was good, and Imusama turning Roxy Xebec, like making him getting Domi reversed, would have been stupid if it wasn't for Iris and Blackbeard and Roxy Xebec finally showing his vulnerable side, and he was weak at that time because it includes his wife and his son, right? So at that time, and I've seen a theory, someone mentioning the fact that we saw Imusama making people turning into the Domi reversy into 2 occasions. One in Elbaf, which is turning the giants into the Domi reversy, the demon, and in God Valley right now, making the Davy clan people turning or getting Domi reversed. Now when you think about it, the Elbaf, the giants, got Domi reversed in Elbaf, and the Davy clan got Domi reversed in God Valley. When you think about it, the giants are from Elbaf, and the Davy clan are from God Valley. And when you translate Domi reversy from Latin to English, I've seen this theory on Twitter, right? Okay, it's a guy called Joyboy91, and he mentioned that when you translate Domi reversy from Latin to English, it says "I returned home." So if that theory is true, then now we know we got a reason on why Roxy Xebec got Domi reversed. And does it make sense? Absolutely yes. Is it logical? Yes. If the theory is correct, it would have absolutely made this whatever happened to Rox absolutely a 10 out of 10 scenario, in my opinion, because a character like Rox gotta be done and be over with from the strongest character. And the chapter in general was absolutely peak. Like, it was genuinely one of the best chapters in all of 2025. Like, the one of the most epic and one of the most beautiful double spreads ever, bro. I'm gonna print this shit and hang it in here, bro. I'm gonna have it in here, okay? All these strong, all this, bro. Roxy Xebec, Roger, Garb, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom, all of them attacked Imusama. Technically, Big Mom was trying to attack Kaido, but all of them attacked Imusama in one of the most epic, one of the most, bro, dude, literally goosebumps right now, okay, just thinking about this scene, bro. Holy shit. The leakers kinda made it seem like it absolutely didn't do shit to Imusama. Now, technically, yes, it didn't do shit to Imusama, but in theory, it did, because if Imusama didn't have this immortality and this regeneration, Imusama would have been dead. So technically, these attacks affected Imusama and made Imusama absolutely be destroyed, right? And then we saw the Conqueror's Haki, like, coming out of Imusama's body, an enormous amount of Conqueror's Haki. So it was absolutely epic. So now let's talk about the regeneration of Imusama. Now, is Imusama the strongest character in One Piece history? When you think about it, and in theory, yes. Like, it gotta be. I mean, in the Harley moral, it made it seem that Imusama is the strongest. Imusama was fighting everybody, including your Joy Boy and all the races and the strongest characters ever. Now, was it because that Imusama was the strongest, or was it because that Imusama was immortal? So technically, there is no way that you could kill Imusama and make Imusama disappear from the world. Now, what I honestly want to see is that it's not just about regeneration. Like, please, Oda, don't make it just about regeneration. I mean, don't get me wrong. The regeneration is good. Like, including it in the story is not bad. Like, it's good. Like, for the Holy Knights, for the Gorosei, all these guys, it's good. But for the strongest character and the final villain, the final antagonist in One Piece, you gotta make this character, like, greater and stronger than that, like, better than that, right? It's not about regeneration, so hopefully there is something into the Imusama power other than it's just regeneration, right? Because, for example, even after the six, Roger and all of these guys attacked Imusama, Imusama got regenerated and Rox jumped and started, like, slicing Imusama, right? So technically Imusama would have been dead 3 times in this chapter, but because of the regeneration, Imusama wasn't. So hopefully there's something like into that. And now when you think about it, if Imusama hadn't had the regeneration and the immortality, she would have been dead, right? But at the same time, I can't say that, because if Imusama hadn't had the regeneration, she would have like tried to avoid and try to like attack back and all that, right? But hopefully in the future we're gonna see something like into the idea of the immortality and the regeneration. Hopefully we're gonna see some Imusama actually trying to defend or try to avoid attacks and try to attack back and all that. But for now, the regeneration, I get it, it's good. But for a character like Imusama, it gotta be like better than that, and you gotta include other greater things than just the regeneration. Now, is it a devil fruit or not? That's the $1 million question, because if it is, holy shit, bro, it's an absolute great fest for Blackbeard. Blackbeard would have absolutely eating the shit out of Imusama. Like, Blackbeard would cook Imusama, right? I mean, it's not that simple, right? Like, it's not that simple, because at the end of the day, now, of course, Imusama knows about Blackbeard's devil fruit and how it simply just cancels the devil fruit, but at the same time, it would have been better, like, hopefully that is the case, that Imusama, the regeneration and the immortality is from a devil fruit, not because Imusama is a creature or like the devil itself. Hopefully it's a devil fruit, because if it's a devil fruit, it would have helped like in the development of the story, because it would make Blackbeard and Luffy aligning together make even more sense, because of the idea like you got Roger, who's simply Luffy now, and you got Rox, who's technically Blackbeard right now. He's the son of Rox. So Luffy, Roger, and Rox you got Valley. No, so now, and you even Garp, like the grandfather of Luffy. And we're gonna get in the future Luffy and Blackbeard versus Imusama. I think it's written in the stars right now. It just makes so much sense for it to happen. And do I want to see this, like Luffy, Blackbeard versus Imusama? Absolutely yes, bro. This would absolutely be the greatest thing ever. Okay, so hopefully Imusama's regeneration and immortality is from a devil fruit. This would make the future events and the final saga, the final battle, be more exciting, and not just Imusama simply taking all the hits and just simply regenerating, right? It would have been like, to a certain extent, it could be annoying sometimes, right? So hopefully there's something other than that, and it's a devil fruit. So for Blackbeard to cancel, like sometime, like they like we can see in the future Blackbeard and Luffy trying to have a strategy where like Luffy try to distract Imusama, and then you got Blackbeard like trying from the back and absolutely canceling the Imusama's devil fruit, and you got Blackbeard, Luffy versus Imusama without the devil fruit. It would have absolutely be epic, right? It would absolutely be epic, and I want to see that. Like, I know you all want to see that. So this is simply the chapter. The Captain Joan double spread, was it? Yeah, double spread was absolutely epic. Like, it looked so good. And him having Eustace Kid's devil fruit is finally confirmed now. Like, so many people speculated that like in weeks when we saw his hand. So now it's confirmed. Absolutely 10 out of 10 chapter. Like, everything I wanted from this chapter, I got it. Hopefully now there's more into that. Like, hopefully we're gonna see in the next couple of chapters like some continuity with the Rock situation. Is he gonna try like to fight back into not being fully a demon? Hopefully that, like, it's like the Madara situation in Naruto, where he got Edo Tensei and then he simply canceled it, or he canceled it, right? He wasn't Edo Tensei. But I don't want to see that with Rocks, like not him like fully canceling the Domi reversy, but trying to fight back, and then he's gonna fail because it's fucking Imusama. Hopefully that's the case, because that's Orochimaru, who's a bum, and that's Imusama, right? So it makes sense for Rocks to not be able to take, or to what would I call it? Cancel the Domi reversy. And I guess that's it, guys. Write in the comments what you guys think about the chapter. It's an absolute 10 out of 10, like I said. And yeah, like this video, all that stuff. I'll be there tomorrow with a hot take video about the chapter, so make sure to be there tomorrow. And thank you guys for watching. Mwah.